Are you ready to validate your expertise in complex cloud environments and pass the CompTIA Cloud Plus CV0-003 exam on your first try? In this video, we will cover CompTIA Cloud Plus CV0-003 exam questions and answers full practice test. Prepare for your CompTIA Cloud Plus CV0-003 certification with this comprehensive practice test. In this video, we dive deep into 30 high-yield practice questions covering all 5 domains of the CV0-003 certification: cloud architecture, security, deployment, operations, and troubleshooting. Make sure to grab a notebook and follow along as we break down the logic behind every correct answer. A cloud administrator is designing a multi-region web application that requires high availability and minimal latency for global users. Which of the following should the administrator implement? Option A: vertical scaling. Option B: content delivery network, CDN. Option C: cold site DR. Option D: single availability zone. The correct answer is B. A content delivery network, CDN, caches content at edge locations closer to the end users, which significantly reduces latency for global traffic. While multi-region deployment handles high availability, the minimal latency for global users requirement specifically points to a CDN. Vertical scaling. A. Increases the power of a single instance but does not help with latency or global availability. Cold sites. C. Are for disaster recovery and have significant downtime. Single as. D. Represents a single point of failure. An organization wants to ensure that all data stored in an S3 bucket is encrypted using keys that they can manage and audit. But the encryption-decryption process should be handled by the cloud provider. Which solution fits best? Option A: SSES3. Option B: SSEC. Option C: SSEKMS. Option D: client-side encryption. The correct answer is C. SSEKMS. Server-side encryption with key management service allows the cloud provider to perform the encryption-decryption, but the user retains control over the keys. This includes the ability to manage permissions for who can use the keys and provides an audit trail via logs. SSES3 A. Uses keys fully managed by the provider. SSEC B. Requires the customer to provide the keys for every request, which increases management overhead. Client-side encryption. D. Means the provider never sees the data in an unencrypted state and doesn't handle the process. A company is migrating a legacy application that requires a specific legacy OS version not supported by the cloud provider's managed services. Which cloud model is most appropriate? Option A: SaaS. Option B: PaaS. Option C: IaaS. Option D: FaaS. The correct answer is C. IaaS. Infrastructure as a service. Provides the highest level of control over the underlying operating system and hardware configuration. Since the application requires a specific, unsupported OS version, the administrator must install and manage the OS themselves on a virtual machine, which is a hallmark of IaaS. PaaS and SaaS abstract the OS layer away, and FaaS, function as a service, is for serverless code execution only. A system administrator notices that a web server's CPU utilization is consistently at 95% during business hours. The administrator adds 2 more identical servers to the load balancer pool. This is an example of Option A, vertical scaling. Option B, horizontal scaling. Option C, right sizing. Option D, over-provisioning. The correct answer is B. Horizontal scaling. Scaling out involves adding more instances or nodes to a pool to distribute the workload. Adding 2 more servers to a load balancer is a textbook example of this. Vertical scaling A would involve adding more CPU or RAM to the existing server. Right sizing C is the process of matching instance types to workload requirements. Over-provisioning D means paying for more resources than are actually needed. Users are reporting that they cannot access a new application. The administrator verifies the instances are running and the security group allows port 443. However, the network ACL denies all inbound traffic except for port 80. What is the most likely cause? Option A. The security group is stateful, but the NACL is stateless. Option B. The NACL is stateful, but the security group is stateless. Option C. The instance is not associated with a public IP. Option D. The route table is missing a local route. The correct answer is A. In cloud networking, specifically AWS standard models, security groups are stateful. If you allow inbound, outbound is automatically allowed. However, network ACLs, NACLs, are stateless. Even if the security group allows port 443, the NACL is blocking it. Furthermore, because NACLs are stateless, you must explicitly allow both inbound and outbound traffic, since the NACL specifically blocks everything except port 80. Port 443 traffic is dropped at the subnet boundary. Which of the following describes a shared responsibility model in a public cloud environment? Option A. The provider is responsible for all security. Option B. The customer is responsible for physical hardware security. Option C. The provider secures the infrastructure, and the customer secures the data. Option D. Both parties share the cost of the subscription based on usage. The correct answer is C. The shared responsibility model defines the security obligations of the cloud service provider, CSP, and the customer. Generally, the CSP is responsible for the security of the cloud, physical servers, virtualization layer, data centers, while the customer is responsible for security in the cloud, guest OS patching, data encryption, IAM, and firewall configurations. A developer wants to deploy a containerized application without managing the underlying virtual machines. Which service type should be used? Option A. Virtual Desktop Infrastructure, VDI. Option B. Managed Kubernetes Service. Option C. Bare Metal as a Service. Option D. Direct Connect. The correct answer is B. Managed Kubernetes, like EKS, AKS, or GKE, or container orchestration services allow developers to deploy containers while the provider manages the underlying node scaling and control plane. This removes the need to manually manage VMs. VDI A is for remote desktop access. Bare Metal C gives the user full control of physical hardware. Direct Connect D is a networking service for dedicated connections. An administrator is instructed to perform a blue-green deployment. What is the primary benefit of this strategy? Option A. It doubles the cost of production long-term. Option B. It allows for near-zero downtime and easy rollback. Option C. It tests the application on the same hardware as the old version. Option D. It ensures the application is deployed to 2 different cloud providers. The correct answer is B. In a blue-green deployment, 2 identical environments exist: blue, current production, and green, new version. Once the green environment is tested, traffic is switched over via a load balancer or DNS. If an issue occurs, traffic is immediately switched back to blue, providing a fast rollback and minimizing downtime during the transition. To comply with regulatory requirements, an administrator must ensure that data is not only encrypted at rest but also that the storage keys are rotated every 90 days. Which tools should be used? Option A. VPC flow logs. Option B. Key Management Service, KMS. Option C. Web Application Firewall, WAF. Option D. Identity and Access Management, IAM. The correct answer is B. A key management service, KMS, is specifically designed to handle the creation, storage, and lifecycle management, including rotation, of cryptographic keys. VPC flow logs, A, are for network monitoring. WAF, C, protects against web exploits. IAM, D, manages user permissions but not the rotation of encryption keys for storage volumes. Which of the following is a primary characteristic of cloud computing that allows customers to pay only for the resources they use? Option A. Broad network access. Option B. Resource pooling. Option C. Measured service. Option D. Rapid elasticity. The correct answer is C. Measured service refers to the cloud's ability to monitor, control, and report resource usage. This allows for a pay-as-you-go billing model where customers are charged based on actual consumption metrics, like GBs stored or compute hours. Rapid elasticity, D, is the ability to scale, but measured service is what enables the billing aspect. A cloud engineer is unable to SSH into a Linux instance in a public subnet. The Internet Gateway is attached, and the route table has a path to 0.0.0.0/0. Which of the following should be checked next? Option A. The instance's RAM utilization. Option B. The security group inbound rules. Option C. The S3 bucket policy. Option D. The API gateway configuration. The correct answer is B. SSH requires port 22 to be open. In cloud environments, security groups act as instance-level firewalls. If the network routing is correct, Internet Gateway and route table are fine. The most likely culprit is a firewall rule blocking port 22. RAM utilization, A, rarely blocks the initial SSH connection setup unless the system is completely frozen. Which of the following would be the best way to protect against a SQL injection attack on a cloud-based web application? Option A. Antivirus software. Option B. Host-based IDS. Option C. Web Application Firewall, WAF. Option D. DDoS protection. The correct answer is C. A web application firewall, WAF, is designed to filter, monitor, and block HTTP traffic to and from a web application. Unlike a standard firewall, it can inspect the payload of a request to identify and block common application layer attacks like SQL injection, SQLI, and cross-site scripting, XSS. An organization is using infrastructure as code, IAC, to deploy its environment. They want to ensure that if a manual change is made to the infrastructure, the IAC tool will detect the discrepancy. This is known as Option A, configuration drift. Option B, orchestration failover. Option C, blue-green switching. Option D, immutable infrastructure. The correct answer is A. Configuration drift occurs when the actual state of the infrastructure in the cloud environment deviates from the defined state in the IAC templates. E.g., someone manually changes a security group rule via the console. Most modern IAC tools have drift detection features to identify these discrepancies and bring the environment back into alignment. Which backup type saves only the data that has changed since the last full backup? Option A, incremental backup. Option B, differential backup. Option C, snapshot. Option D, mirroring. The correct answer is B. A differential backup captures all changes made since the last full backup. This means the backup grows in size each day until the next full backup is performed. Incremental backups. A. Only save changes since the last backup of any type. Snapshots. C. Are point-in-time copies often used for individual volumes. Which document outlines the expected uptime and performance levels between a cloud provider and a customer? Option A, SOW. Option B, SLA. Option C, MO. Option D, NDA. The correct answer is B. The Service Level Agreement, SLA, is a contractual commitment between the provider and the customer that specifies the minimum level of service, e.g., 99.99% uptime, and the penalties, usually service credits, if those levels are not met. So, Statement of Work defines project tasks, and NDA, non-disclosure agreement, protects confidential information. A security audit reveals that root accounts are being used for daily administrative tasks. What is the best recommendation to improve security? Option A. Delete the root account immediately. Option B. Share the root password with all IT staff to ensure transparency. Option C. Implement the principle of least privilege using IAM roles and users. Option D. Disable multi-factor authentication, MFA, to speed up access. The correct answer is C. The root account has unrestricted access to all resources and should only be used for the initial setup or specific emergency tasks. Daily tasks should be performed by IAM users or roles granted only the permissions necessary for their job. Principle of least privilege. You should never share the root password, and you cannot delete the root account in most CSPs. A user reports that a file they uploaded to a cloud storage bucket is missing. The administrator looks at the logs and sees a delete action performed by an automated script. Which of the following would prevent this in the future? Option A. Enable versioning. Option B. Disable encryption. Option C. Use a public bucket. Option D. Increase the storage tier. The correct answer is A. Versioning allows you to keep multiple variants of an object in the same bucket. If an object is deleted or overwritten, you can retrieve previous versions. This is a key protection against accidental deletions or malicious scripts. Encryption. B. Protects data privacy. And public buckets. C. Are a security risk. Which of the following is the best reason to use a JSON or YAML template for cloud deployments? Option A. To make the console more colorful. Option B. To ensure repeatable and consistent deployments. Option C. To increase the cost of resources. Option D. To prevent the use of APIs. The correct answer is B. Using templates. Infrastructure as code ensures that every time you deploy an environment, it is configured exactly the same way. This eliminates human error associated with manual configuration through a GUI and allows for version control of the infrastructure itself. What is the term for a cloud environment that combines on-premises private cloud resources with public cloud services? Option A. Community cloud. Option B. Hybrid cloud. Option C. Distributed cloud. Option D. Multi-cloud. The correct answer is B. A hybrid cloud is a combination of at least one private cloud, often on premises, and at least one public cloud. These environments are typically linked by encrypted connections to allow data and applications to be shared between them. Multi-cloud. D. Refers to using multiple different public cloud providers, e.g., AWS and Azure. During a security incident, an administrator needs to isolate a compromised VM from the network without shutting it down. To allow for forensic analysis, what is the best approach? Option A. Terminate the instance. Option B. Modify the security group to deny all inbound and outbound traffic. Option C. Delete the virtual private cloud, VPC. Option D. Detach the boot volume. The correct answer is B. Modifying the security group allows you to effectively quarantine the instance by cutting off its network communication while keeping the instance running. This preserves the volatile data, like RAM content, which is crucial for forensic analysis. Terminating A. Or detaching volumes. D. Can destroy or alter forensic evidence. A cloud administrator is configuring a load balancer for a web application. Which of the following is a primary function of the load balancer? Option A. To store static images. Option B. To distribute traffic across multiple backend servers. Option C. To provide a direct physical connection to the ISP. Option D. To act as the primary database engine. The correct answer is B. A load balancer acts as a reverse proxy and distributes incoming application traffic across multiple targets, such as EC2 instances, containers, and IP addresses. This increases the availability and fault tolerance of the application. Which of the following migration strategies involves moving an application to the cloud with minimal to no changes to the application code? Option A. Refactoring. Option B. Replatforming. Option C. Rehosting. Option D. Retiring. The correct answer is C. Rehosting, also known as lift and shift, involves moving an application's underlying servers and data to the cloud as is. Refactoring, A, involves rewriting code to be cloud native. Replatforming, B, involves making minor optimizations, like moving to a managed database, without changing the core architecture. A cloud-based database is suffering from slow read performance. Which of the following would best resolve the issue while maintaining high availability? Option A, enable read replicas. Option B, switch to a smaller instance type. Option C, disable multi-as deployment. Option D, delete the database and restore from a cold backup. The correct answer is A. Read replicas are used to offload read traffic from the primary database instance. This improves the performance of read-heavy workloads and can be used as part of a high availability strategy. Switching to a smaller instance, B, would worsen performance. Which protocol is commonly used to provide secure, encrypted communication between a remote user and a cloud VPC over the public internet? Option A, Telnet. Option B, FTP. Option C, IPsec VPN. Option D, HTTP. The correct answer is C. IPsec, Internet Protocol Security. VPNs create an encrypted tunnel over the public internet, allowing remote users or branch offices to securely access cloud resources. Telnet, A, FTP, B, and HTTP, D, are all unencrypted insecure protocols. An administrator needs to ensure that a critical application can survive the complete failure of a cloud provider's data center facility. What should they implement? Option A, multi-as deployment. Option B, single-as deployment. Option C, edge locations. Option D, auto-scaling in one subnet. The correct answer is A. In cloud terminology, an availability zone, AZ, typically represents one or more discrete data centers. By deploying across multiple AZs, you ensure that if one data center fails, due to power outage, fire, etc., the application remains available in the other AZ. Which of the following is a cost-effective way to run non-critical, interruptible batch processing jobs in the cloud? Option A, on-demand instances. Option B, reserved instances. Option C, spot instances. Option D, dedicated hosts. The correct answer is C. Spot instances allow you to bid on spare cloud compute capacity at a significant discount, up to 90%. The trade-off is that the provider can reclaim the capacity with very short notice. This makes them ideal for batch processing or jobs that can be interrupted and resumed. What is the purpose of a health check in a load balancer configuration? Option A, to monitor the administrator's login frequency. Option B, to ensure traffic is only sent to functional and responsive instances. Option C, to check the billing status of the account. Option D, to scan the instances for malware. The correct answer is B. Health checks are used by the load balancer to determine the state of the backend instances. If an instance fails a health check, e.g., doesn't respond on port 80, the load balancer stops sending traffic to it until it becomes healthy again, ensuring high availability. Which security concept involves verifying the identity of a user, typically via a username and password or MFA? Option A, authorization. Option B, accounting. Option C, authentication. Option D, auditing. The correct answer is C. Authentication is the process of verifying who a user is. Authorization, A, is the process of determining what an authenticated user is allowed to do. Accounting, auditing, B, D, is the process of tracking what the user actually did. A cloud engineer discovers that a production database has been deleted. After investigation, it is found that a developer used an API key that was accidentally committed to a public GitHub repository. What is the best first step? Option A, revoke the compromised API key. Option B, email the developer to ask what happened. Option C, delete the GitHub repository. Option D, restore the database from a backup. The correct answer is A. The immediate priority in an active security breach is to stop the unauthorized access. Revoking, deactivating the compromised API key prevents the attacker from causing further damage. Restoring the database, D, is important but should happen after the threat is neutralized. Otherwise, the attacker might just delete it again. Which of the following is an example of serverless computing? Option A, a virtual machine with 64 GB of RAM. Option B, a function that executes in response to an event. Option C, a physical server located in an on-premises data center. Option D, a Docker container running on a managed VM. The correct answer is B. Serverless computing, like AWS Lambda or Azure Functions, allows users to run code without provisioning or managing servers. The cloud provider automatically handles the scaling and execution in response to specific triggers or events. While there are still servers involved, they are completely abstracted away from the user. That wraps up our 30-question deep dive into the CompTIA Cloud Plus CV0-003 exam objectives. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more IT certification content. For a full-length simulated exam experience, check the link in the description below.